Defense and military officials report a further decline in the armed forces of the communist movement in the country. They attribute this to the gains in addressing the root causes of rebellion. Let's hear the details of this report from Freddie Abando.
For the past 5 years of the Aquino administration, there has been a steady decline of the communist insurgency led by the Communist Party of the Philippines and the National Democratic Front. AFP Chief General Eriberi bared the strength of the New People's Army is down to 4,000. Defense Secretary Voltaire Gasmin said the government's gains in addressing the root causes of the rebellion has resulted in significant losses with the return of NPA regulars to a normal life. Gasmin and Eriberi said the Communist Party of the Philippines and the New People's Army is engaged in the massive recruitment of young children from 12 to 17 years old and indigenous groups in the Davao and Caraga regions. 3 out of 4 recruits are Lumads. They undergo indoctrination in schools created by the movement.
Children are being recruited by the NPAs in Salugpungan by way of indoctrinating them and then eventually become hardcore NPAs. You will also see, you probably have seen the presentation where during one of their anniversaries, one child warrior is a student of that Salugpungan Elementary School. It is diminishing. That is why they are into indoctrination of the young generation.
We are addressing that. That's why our troops are operating in the ancestral domain area of the IPs. But in our operations, these are all in consultation with the tribal leaders. They have efforts to recruit IPs. As mentioned, there are 3 out of 4 NPAs. Of the NPAs are IPs.
In the meantime, Congressman Sylvester Bello called on government and the National Democratic Front to resume that will lead to the end of the insurgency. Bello was the government's former chief negotiator at the time the talks were conducted and failed during the Ramos and Arroyo governments. President Aquino revived the talks in 2012 but was shelved in 2013.
Remember, we cannot afford, our country cannot afford a partial peace. If we must have peace, it must be a total peace between our government, our people, and all those fighting government. Kaya hindi ko maintindihan eh. Porsigido sa MILF, pero parang pinababayaan niya ang pakikipag-usap sa NDF, CPP, NPA, which is a bigger force because nationwide yan. And they have been there for, I think, for 4 decades. Kaya kailangan ng konting pasensya sa pakikipag-usap sa kanila. You don't end a problem which has been there for 40 to 50 years with only 1 year of negotiation. Hindi kailangan dyan pasensya.
Attorney Alex Padilla is the current negotiator of the government. Norway sponsored the talks with the CPP-NPA led by Jose Maria Sison and Luis Alandoni of the NDF. Bello said revival of the talks is a must to end the insurgency which started in 1969. Bello said there should be no preconditions for the resumption.
I also talked to the leadership of the NDF, CPP, NPA. I also told them na, yung mga preconditions to going back to the talks, that is going against the very concept of the Hague Joint Declaration, the framework of the peace talks. Kasi you sign yung Hague Joint Declaration, and under that agreement, you agreed to talk without any precondition. Ngayon, hinihiling nyo na bago kami bumalik sa usapang pangkapayapaan, kailangan palayaan nyo si ganito, si ganito. Hindi. You are already violating your commitment. The same way that government is imposing yung ceasefire before we talk, that's already capitulation eh. Kaya nga kayo nag-usap dahil may internal armed conflict. Kung sabihin mo, surrender mo, parang sinabi, surrender muna kayo bago tayo mag-usap. Hindi dapat. You go back to the peace table and then yung ceasefire and the release of their political leaders can be the product of the peace negotiation.
For the People's Television Network, this is Freddie Abando reporting.